If you want to join our giveaways, check the description below and take a chance to win.
The graph GRT could hit 88 cents in 2022. The graph's cost expectation for the most negative situation will esteem GRT at 11 cents in 2022. The graph's past all-time high was on 12 February 2021, where GRT was valued at $2.84. The graph's cost simultaneously last week was 12 cents. It has moved by 15,561% in the previous week and is presently at 14 cents. In fact, in the beyond 24 hours, GRT has siphoned by 13.38%. There is a slight negative opinion in the crypto market. The drawn-out feeling, notwithstanding, stays bullish and GRT could hit $1,152 in 2023. The complete coursing supply of the graph as of compassing this video was $7,400,273,157, and the market cap of GRT stays at $1,095,358,727. Significant disclaimer. For coins with practically no data of interest and inexistent verifiable information, the model as a matter of course will show a positive cost expectation. It is absolutely impossible for our AI bot to translate white paper, tokenomics and group respectability. The coin's value that you are going to see beneath can fall definitely contingent upon many variables, so if it's not too much trouble, contribute shrewdly in the wake of actually looking at the group and ventures white paper. This ongoing value forecast is finished by a machine doing the math, and the model is still in the early beta stages. It should stringently not be taken as a speculation guidance. Albeit the best specialists are right now tweaking and refreshing the calculation, no human has checked the cost anticipated beneath, so if it's not too much trouble, utilize your carefulness and settle on a choice shrewdly. The graph cost forecast model considers a ton of data of interest and factors to give the rough worth of GRT before long to come. No calculation, in any case, can be 100% exact, yet we endeavor to present to you the most dependable cost expectation by utilizing a high-level AI/ML information crunching model. The information focuses remember the graphs for chain development of coins for August 2022 and past authentic information. The graph's absolute exchanging volume on trades for August 2022 and past authentic information. The graph social feeling for August 2022 and past verifiable information. The graph's impending guide and developer action for August 2022 and past verifiable information. The graph's enormous whale developments and their hodling designs for August 2022 and past verifiable information. The graph's cost developments in light of different exchanging pointers like Bollinger Bands, RSI, moving averages, both S&E, MACD and something else for August 2022 and past authentic information. The graph price prediction. The graph has had a momentous 2021. To improve on the most recent GRT cost expectation, we have split the forecast by momentary the graph cost forecast and long haul the graph cost expectation. As of compassing this video, GRT had an exchanging volume of $193.00 when 984. The graph has increased 47,297% in the beyond 30 days. As per our examination temporarily, the graph cost expectation for October 2022 shows the typical cost of GRT at $0.7 and the most elevated conceivable cost for October 2022 would be 75 cents. Further, as per our examination in the long haul, the graph cost expectation for February 2023 shows the typical cost of GRT at 98 cents. And the most noteworthy conceivable cost for February 2023 would be $1,049. The graph cost expectation 12 August 2022. The graph's cost for 12 August 2022 as per our investigation ought to go between 38 cents to 43 cents and the typical cost of GRT ought to be around $0.4. The graph cost expectation 17 August 2022. The graph's cost for 17 August 2022 as indicated by our investigation ought to run between $0.5 to 58 cents, and the typical cost of GRT ought to be around 54 cents. The graph cost expectation 22 August 2022. The graph's cost for 22 August 2022 as indicated by our investigation ought to run between 56 cents to 65 cents, and the typical cost of GRT ought to be around 61 cents. The graph cost expectation 1 September 2022. The graph's cost for 1 September 2022 as per our investigation ought to go between 62 cents to 71 cents, and the typical cost of GRT ought to be around 67 cents. The graph cost expectation October 2022. The graph's cost for October 2022 as per our investigation ought to go between 65 cents to 75 cents, and the typical cost of GRT ought to be around $0.7.
The graph cost expectation November 2022. The graph's cost for November 2022 as indicated by our investigation ought to go between 67 cents to 77 cents, and the typical cost of GRT ought to be around 72 cents. The graph cost expectation December 2022. The graph's cost for December 2022 as indicated by our examination ought to run between 68 cents to 78 cents, and the typical cost of GRT ought to be around 73 cents. The graph's long-term price prediction. The graph's drawn-out price prediction underneath is a gander at GRT's future possibility with respect to cost. The graph was most recently seen at 14 cents, with a market cap of $1,095,358,727 and exchanging volumes of $193,000 when 984. GRT's value forecast is conceivable by breaking down authentic cost activity, current turns of events and social opinion from the local area. The graph cost expectation 2022. The graph's cost for 2022 as indicated by our investigation ought to go between 58 cents to 88 cents, and the typical cost of GRT ought to be around 73 cents. The graph cost expectation 2023. The graph's cost for 2023 as indicated by our examination ought to run between 76 cents to $1,152, and the typical cost of GRT ought to be around 96 cents. The graph cost expectation 2024. The graph's cost for 2024 as per our investigation ought to go between 96 cents to $1.